Today I'm at Nellis Air Force Base. I'm here in town for a wedding, so I thought I'd come by the static displays and show you the various static displays they have here on base. So here is an A10 Warthog, commonly used for close air support and ground support. It's also known as a gun around a plane, or a plane around a gun, depending on who you talk to. It's got a big Gatling gun in the front. And this is an actual plane, not just a fake one, as you can see by the tires and the interior of it. It's relatively early. It's like 10:30 on a Saturday. I figured I'd get it done, get out here and get it done before it gets really hot. It's supposed to be like 110 today. So yeah, as you can see, there is a couple static displays in this park here. I'll walk around and kind of hit them. Again, there's the A10. All right. And there's some kind of plaque over here. It's a Medal of Honor Memorial. As you can see, they added Pitsenbarger's name as one of the newest ones. And this is known as Freedom Park. And here, up on the display stand, is an F4 Phantom. Again, this is a real aircraft, not just a display model. For a long time, the Air Force were using real aircraft on these displays, and at some point, they found it was cheaper to use shells and fake ones. So some of the bases you see, they're not exactly full aircraft. They are shells of aircraft. We'll go over there sooner or later, but there's the F-117 Stealth fighter. Over here we have a T-38, and we have a police officer kind of keeping track of us, because filming on a military base is always suspect. Picture of the A-10 again. Like I said, this is the T-38 Talon. It's one of my favorite aircraft. If you watched any of the other videos I've done, I mentioned this one. It's a kind of a fun aircraft. This one is not a T-38. It's a F5, which is the exact same model. It's just called something else. It's a beautiful aircraft. Again, just like the T-38, it's very unstable at slow speeds and low altitudes because of the stocky wings that it has. Other plaques here. It's kind of odd they have a P-51 Mustang plaque here, but no P-51. It may have been here at one point and they've taken it down. Here we have, I believe it's an F-100, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so this is an F-100 Super Sabre. Kind of a clunky looking aircraft. The pilots wouldn't say so. All right. This is a F-105, also known as a Thunder Chief. You've seen this one on display. I want to say it's March Air Museum. They have one of these in display. Here, I believe, is a F-111 Warthog Aardvark. Sorry about the wind noise, folks. The wind's just kicked up. It was dead calm right before I started the video here. This is a big aircraft if you've never seen one up close. Dual seat, and the pilots and the co-pilots seat abreast, so they're sitting side by side on this plane. This F-111 was used a lot in the 80s, 60s to 80s, even into the 90s. This right here, this building right here, that's the fitness center of Nellis. should be the F-86. Yeah. And this is the F-86 Sabre. Something a little neat on the front here is they have a little thing here that said over 500 MiGs destroyed by Nellis Air Force Base trained pilots. And again, this is a real aircraft because you can look up the serial number, which is right there. All right, now we're going to go back toward the F-111 Nighthawk. All right, so we are coming up on the backside of the F-111, or not the F-111, the F-117 Nighthawk here. This is another one of the aircraft that I always like seeing at air shows or museums. It's got a neat look to it. Obviously, it's a stealth aircraft. Here. All right. The Nevada Test and Training Range opened in 1940. And the Tonopah Test Range opened in 56, apparently. Beautiful aircraft. This plane is on loan from the United States Air Force Museum. All right. Walk over here. MiG-21. This is the 64th Aggressor Squadron. Not quite sure what that is. I'm sure it has something to do with tactics and military planning and all that good stuff. I passed the Warfare Center on the way in to this. Looks like another Russian craft of some sort. It's a BTR-60. Wouldn't mind having something like this in a couple acres in the backyard to play around with. All right. And here looks like an F-15. But it is actually a MiG-29 Fulcrum. One more track vehicle way down here that I'll walk to, getting my exercise in for the day. Right here is the 549th Combat Training Squadron, or Green Flag. So in the Air Force, they have a lot of exercises to test mission capabilities and readiness and all that kind of stuff. One of them, a big one's Red Flag. But they also have something called Green Flag as well. And they're all designed to test the readiness, mission capability, the sturdiness of assets, so forth and so on. If you look at something odd, there's a missile sticking out the top of this thing. It's kind of funny. It's not listed what it is. It looks like an American tank of some sort. Not quite sure. But I think, without saying it in so many words, I think they're trying to tell you that they can put bombs on target with Green Flag and their capabilities. So all right, and as we pan across, the gym's out in the field, and then this building close here, this is the F-22 flight simulator for the pilots. As we walk back. Now we're on one of the far edges of the base, closest to the civilian. So, you know, we're not getting anywhere near the flight line or anything like that. I was here last night and they had a couple F-22s taken off, which was kind of neat to see. But nothing so far today. It is Saturday, so. All the Thunderbirds were parked and they're out in the skid, the ramp there. So, all right, folks, that'll about do it for Freedom Park and the surrounding area here, with all of the static displays here at Nellis Air Force Base. I hope you've enjoyed our little walk. It is rather warm and sticky for the desert, so I am going to get in my car and cool down. Until next time, see you later.